The following is a production of Phoenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
What's up, bees?
Hello.
Welcome to the Brit on Blast podcast, where we put everything and anything on blast. What's this week's roundup, Britton?
So this week we interviewed Jerry and Sarah Abasto from the Abasto Co. It was such a great interview. We got to learn so much about just everything that they do and how their business got started, and also what it's like to have a business with a spouse and their working relationship. And it was just really cool and insightful. Sarah shared a lot of details about her Instagram account, how to get followers, and just all the things.
Yeah, I was really excited to learn about Sarah because I know Jerry so well just from like our photo shoots and working with him like in the OG days of Ladies Night. So I was really excited to get to know her. She's hilarious. You guys will get to hear her angelic voice on this episode.
She has a very dry sense of humor.
Super dry, which is my favorite. I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe at one point. Like I had to literally pull away and back out. It was just, honestly, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Those two are friends. They're family. They're part of the pack. Like I'm so grateful to have them on our team. So
definitely. It was a good interview.
Yeah. Let's do some local events real quick. Cause you have Small Business Alliance on Wednesday night at Shanty's.
Yep. So tomorrow.
It'll be tonight actually when this lands.
I'm going to have to get my shit together for that. But yeah, no, I feel like in school, when you had that one presentation, you would just give all the time. Yeah. It's like that. So I can just go back and tweak it. And honestly, telling the story of how you started your business is like the easiest thing.
It is.
So Britt, why are you on?
Because I was I was trying to find out what time her thing went, and my stupid reels just went off.
It starts at 6 at Shanty Dolan's.
I could have just asked.
I'm like, are you on Instagram right now?
I was trying to do a thing.
Hang up and hang out.
I apologize.
I'm just kidding.
Trying to be helpful.
No, that's so nice. No, because typically I wouldn't know.
Right.
So I really appreciate that. So Wednesday, Reno Small Business Alliance, we are speaking at Shanty Dolan's, which is my cousin's bar, and I'm really excited to be there.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, we are doing a Cinco de Mayo block party at Caliber Salon, which is off of Wells.
Okay.
No, it's not off of Wells. Vassar.
We're doing good today.
Vassar.
Vassar also is Wells.
Close, very close. And it's going to be really fun. There's a lot of food trucks coming. It's just going to be a great time. We'll be there 3 to 7 on Thursday. So if you guys are drinking tequila and want to swing by, we got lots of new arrivals per usual. So I'm excited about that. What is your week looking like?
Well, I will be attending both of those events with you and saying hi, hello, what's up? Cinco de Drinko is one of my favorite times of tequila is my lifeblood. And so I will be having a lot of it on Thursday.
Yeah. Doy.
And then I have a Mother's Day event with Riverside Farmers Market on Saturday from 9 to 1. So I'm super excited about that. And then I don't know if you guys know, it's Riverfest on Saturday. So I'm jazzed about that. It's my dad's birthday as well.
Fun.
So we are going to party with him. No my best friend.
For you, your dad's birthday and then Mother's Day. So
yeah, I get like a back to back, and then you know what I do? I just black out, and I show up, and I'm like, thank you for being mine, people.
You know what I do? I just
black out. Pretty much is the sum of it. God. How was your week?
Week was great. Busy. I feel like Ladies Night is always such a fun event, but it's very exhausting. And I don't know if you're the type of person, but like I have a ton of energy and I can be very extroverted, but I get exhausted from it. So I have to recharge after. And I mean, just the planning and then like the anticipation of Ladies Night and then just the amount of volume of people that you talk to on an event like that
in 2 hours.
So it's exhausting. And then Friday had like a really busy day. And so And then Saturday you helped work my event, which was so nice of you. And I had the best time hanging out. You're a good little worker, man. You're hired anytime.
I mean,
if I know how to do one thing. Super complicated to like fold clothes and put them in a bag. So I'm very impressed.
You're welcome. No, I have been doing that since I was 15 years old. So it's like second nature. And
you got the retail down.
I like to fold clothes. No, I don't. I actually hate doing laundry. Please don't ask me to do that ever.
But you're just good. You just get it.
And we got to hang out with Amy too, which was cool.
Love Amy. So Saturday after the event, I went back up to Tahoe, and Sunday I felt like, you know, when you finally like sleep and you give yourself that chance to just like, I was like so exhausted. I felt like a blob of a human, but I recharged. I feel great, ready for this week and Mother's Day and all the things.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was good. That was the Sunday experience that you had was my Friday experience where I was like, I physically cannot do a thing. I'm going to lay on this couch and not move. Cause it had been like 4 weeks of just nonstop. And then ladies night was like the big hurrah. And then I napped twice last week. Like that's how tired I was. I napped twice.
Yeah. You don't do that.
I don't nap. So, it was a good week. You know, I acted a little nuts on Saturday, acted a little serious. I don't know. I don't have feelings right now.
You didn't act nuts. What are you talking about?
I just, keep letting people talk for me. And that's my problem in life. And I got to stop doing that. I feel like sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so then I reach out to people for advice. And then every single time afterwards, it's not that their advice was bad. Their advice is usually the most amazing advice ever. But then what happens is I'm like, yeah, but it didn't sound like me. Like that wasn't me. And then I feel all gross inside. So,
well, you're the one that knows the situation. You're the one that's living through yourself. You know what feels right.
And I'm just constantly learning. Like, I feel like that's all I do in life. It's like I fucking trip and fall up and then I learn a lesson and then I trip again. And sometimes I faceplant and sometimes I just take a knee and, you know, we progress.
Such is life.
Onwards and upwards.
This is what we like to say.
We will see you guys on the flip side. I want you to enjoy this episode with Jerry and Sarah, who are the king and queen of media. And I cannot wait to spend more time with them, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Enjoy.
So, enjoy.
So, Britt, because this is in your wheelhouse, why the Automobile Museum?
I mean, you know, for me, it's about the cars all day long. I love cars. I like old cars, new cars, all of the things. For me, the fact that they have the DeLorean here and the Batmobile in the same room is like, it makes my heart happy. So that's why for me, but I think for like someone like us, like doing things with all of our friends, like 160 of our close friends could go to the theater.
In any movie that you want. They have so many things to offer. The space camp for your kids, if you like need a little break or you want to look at the cars. Reno's just really lucky to have it. It's one of the biggest collections, I think, in the country, which is awesome.
It's so cool. And the fact that it's here in the biggest little city is like the coolest thing ever. So yeah, grab a bottle of tequila and come on into the theater.
Yes, Back to the Future.
Get all your friends, 160 of them, so the whole town of Reno.
So everyone you know.
And watch a movie.
Yep.
You can find tickets at the automuseum.org.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where you go get your tickets.
Perfect.
Fun day.
So Britt, why intentional candles for mental health?
Because building healthy habits around your intentions can have a positive impact on not only your mental health, but your overall productivity. I wanted to create a premium non-toxic candle that reminded my customers that life is complex and we can live in the and space. Talking about mental health and mental illness doesn't always have to be scary or depressing. Sometimes it can be fun and enlightening. We are wildly unique and expansive creatures, as we've talked about on the podcast before, and we can be many things in a day. And sometimes we just need to light a candle to remind ourselves who the fuck we are and what we are capable of.
I 100% agree with that. Plus, your candles smell so good and they fill up my whole house. I hear you have something special for our listeners.
I do. I have a little promo for our bees. Y'all can head to havenandflux.com and use code BOB20 at checkout to get 20% off your order. I hope y'all enjoy.
Jerry and Sarah Abasto own the Abasto Co, a photography, videography, and branding company that delivers incredible and unique work. Sarah is a real estate agent as well as a blogger with over 12,000 followers on Instagram. And Jerry is a skilled and talented and successful photographer and all the things that I listed that the Abasto Co does. And really together, they are a jack of all trades. I met them both when they swung by a BLFT pop-up we were doing at Club Pilates in Sparks. I mean, probably 4 years ago. And then our paths crossed again, and Jerry shot our original shoot for Murdock's that has become one of my favorite shoots of all time. The photo and video from that shoot brought my brand to life. And like when we wrapped that day, I was like, we have ourselves a brand. I think that one of the best things about the Abasto Co is they put everything into their work, and their product really reflects that. They individualize their work for their customers, and it's so cool to see that come to life. Like I just said about Murdock's. Jerry has shot for now BLFT, Britt on Blast, and Murdock's, and we collab every month at Ladies Night, and now we're collabing every month outside of that, which is so cool. And we're just blessed to have him as one of our brand people. I'm just so blessed that our paths crossed and now we are friends outside of work, and it's just been the best. I love their little son, Grayson. He is so cute. And it's an honor to have them on our podcast and that they made time for us today. I know they're going to drop a ton of useful knowledge about all the areas that they are experts on, as well as some insight to working with your spouse, which, by the way, you guys make look very natural and easy. So thank you so much for being here. And Britt, you know them as well. So
I met them through you for Ladies Night way back, like almost a year ago now. And I met Jerry first, and then Sarah came to one of the events, brought Grayson in. Was Evan there too? I think maybe that night, maybe not. I don't remember. But anyway, she's like beauty and grace, walks into the room, handling everything. Grayson is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
I show him off to people. I'm like, but have you seen the cutest baby in the world?
No, truly. And with his bow tie and his curly hair and those beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
That kid's gonna...
The Gerber baby has nothing on him.
Truly. And so that was not only it, but I ended up meeting Jerry one-on-one. He got to see me on one of the worst days. It was post the Raiders crushing the Chargers in overtime, and I did not know he was a Raiders fan. And he was like, this is how I would explain Jerry. Jerry is so true and strong within like his own foundation and values, but he doesn't let that like be a deterrent or like not like a... I came in hot and it was like, fuck the Raiders. Like, I hate them so much. I was like, I hate Raider fans. Like, I went hard. I was like mad that morning because the Chargers losing in overtime to the Raiders is literally the most in the playoffs was the most hurtful thing that could have ever happened to me. And Jerry was just like, I'm really sorry you feel that way. Like,
he's so nice.
I know. He's like, it's so great to see you.
Like, most people would rub that in your face and be like, ha, you lost. Like,
you know, he's a total Raiders fan and he's probably on a high from the night before.
But I mean, that's so nice.
And so that to me is like Jerry in a core is just like, he's just like so kind. He's so caring. And then to top it off, within his work, I have an aversion to photography, like being behind the camera. And I was so uncomfortable. We were joking about it this morning. Like I didn't know what to do with my hands, my face.
During the Britt on Blast?
Yeah.
That one? Really?
Yeah. And I felt so comfortable with him. Yeah. Like he really did make it so comfortable. And then getting to know Sarah along the way, like total grace, absolute kindness. Like you guys are just so good at lifting other people up. You lift each other up every single day in your business. I'm just so grateful to know you both. So welcome to the Brit on Blast podcast.
Hey, let's go.
Oh my gosh, I love it here. Keep going.
Keep talking.
We could just skip the question.
Yeah. Wait, do you guys want to talk on this interview? Okay, so Sarah, this one's for you. Between the two of you, you guys have 3 businesses, your blog, your real estate agent, and also the Abasto Co. How do you balance all of that? Which one is your priority? And also being such a hands-on mom to Grayson, like how do you do it all?
Well, I close my eyes and pray a lot, but,
great advice.
All of our little businesses and our little endeavors are kind of my babies in their own ways. So I don't know that one takes a priority over another, but they've all kind of served us in very specific ways. And especially with the Abasto Co and with my blog, we've gotten to meet so many great people in the small business space, especially in Reno. So, we're just so grateful for all of the opportunities that we have.
How did you end up starting your blog, just out of curiosity?
Oh my gosh, I've been blogging before blogging was cool. Like, I used to have a little craft blog called A Dose of Serotonin. And
I love that so much.
Thank you. I'm one of those people that would rather spend $150 on supplies and make it myself than just like buy a $20 something.
I love that.
So I used to blog about that for several years before I kind of just switched it to a documentation of what's going on in my day to day.
And your Instagram is one of the most fun. I was joking with Jerry, like I don't always I like kids, but I'm okay. I can't even say it because I'm like, I can't be saying that I don't like kids on the podcast. I'm biased to kids. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't, not all kids are super fun to be around, but like Grayson is so awesome. And then watching your reels of him kill me. Like the one where he answers his foot as the phone.
Hello.
Oh my God. Kills me. So yeah, you just like crush it on that. And I love it so much.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Your content is truly next level. And like you give really good advice on shopping, on making cute little recipes. Obviously Grayson graces the Instagram. But I'm just like, has that evolved since you started the blog? Like, did it start as one thing and now it's just a little bit of everything? And for someone who's kind of maybe in the middle of a blog or they're going to start one, any advice that you give to them?
It definitely evolved. I always say that Jerry and I kind of use our social media as like our digital scrapbook. So I love being able to look back at the events in our lives and even like the small moments that you wouldn't think are super important. In my, story archive, I've got some of my favorite memories and not many people can say that. Yeah. So, I mean, some people think it's kind of cringy to overshare on the internet, but I love it.
Not us at all.
I was going to
overshare every day of my life.
You're in the right place. I mean, I've talked about everything on this podcast. Good God.
Right.
And then some.
Yeah. We always leave and we're like, ooh, but then it's always okay. Like I think that being vulnerable is strength and you definitely do that, especially through some difficult times that you've had in your life. So I've been following since I've been a follower. Do you have a name for your followers?
I don't. I call them my girls when I'm like referencing them to Jerry, but I think my following on Instagram is like 95% female.
Yeah.
So to my strong 5% dudes, what up?
It's like Jerry.
Yeah, it's me and all my shadow accounts. I'm like, go babe, you got this.
Honestly, I could see you doing that, but
1000%.
All my burner accounts I got.
Oh my God. All right. So let's talk about the Abasto Co. Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah, no, it's right.
Oh, okay.
Abasto.
Now I'm like fully questioning my whole life.
Tabasco Co.
Yeah.
It's going to be cryo all over again.
You can't stoop lower than that.
Yes, trust me, I can. Anyway, so that's one of the ways that we know you both is through the Abasto Co. So Jerry, tell us a little bit about what it is. And then both of you can kind of tell us how it is working with your spouse, because that's an experience.
Yeah. So we created the Abasto Co. in the peak of the pandemic, and I worked for another company and I needed funds. Like if we weren't going to be able to pay mortgage. So I told Sarah for a very long time that I wanted to start our own company, and she thankfully gave me the green light on it. And now we specialize graphic design, photography, and brand development with a little side of videography. The main goal being national recognized media house by 2 years from now. So that's the goal.
I can definitely see you guys headed in that direction. I mean, it's that you guys just crush it. I mean, and it's another one. I know we talked about this with Honey Pot, was like, I know it's you without knowing it's you. Mm-hmm. Like I could see someone else's them post their photography and be like, oh, that's the Abasto Co. without even knowing you did that photo shoot. So that's always a killer thing. And you got people talking about you in positive ways all over the city.
Yeah, we're trying to get out to more small businesses. Obviously, Ladies Night has helped us in the networking, and just being around people like yourselves. It's just, we needed to be outside to be able to develop that. And now that, mandates are over and all that stuff, we're able to get outside and start really shaking hands, kissing babies, or bring our baby to it. So,
yeah. Let people kiss your baby.
I think it's so interesting that you say that you started it in the peak of the pandemic, because we talk about this all the time. A lot of businesses are born during really difficult times. Talk a little bit about that and like what made you finally take the step. And I mean, obviously it was something that you had been thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, so I freelanced for about 10 years prior to that. And we had always had the conversation, like, I'm an emotional dude. I would come home from like a marketing director position and just be like, this isn't for me. I'm not meant to work for another human being and bring their goals and dreams to life. I want to work for myself and create for my clients. And so you put all that just in this ball of anxiety and frustration for so long. And then here comes a pandemic. Well, you can say it's an excuse or a reason or a fear, but there was no other option at that point. Like, we had to do it. And thankfully, Sarah is amazing at her realtor position. So we had a nice nest egg sitting back. We had something to fall back on if it did fail. Thankfully it didn't. And it's continuing to be ever evolving, ever growing. So yeah, but I'm not afraid to say it was born out of fear, but it's definitely kept us going because it's all we got now. And I love it.
That's so awesome.
I think a lot of great things are born out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best things.
Right.
Because when your back's against the wall, you get two choices. You're going to give up or you're going to show up. So,
yeah.
Right.
And we show up.
Yeah. We see that all the time. Britton, tell us what BLFT is all about, because it's my favorite place to shop.
The Biggest Little Fashion Truck is a family-owned and operated boutique on wheels. We got started 5 years ago because I had this deep desire to make women feel more confident. And I found out that one of the many ways you can enhance your confidence was through clothing. Hence our why, confidence through clothing.
We love some confidence in our lives.
We pride ourselves in bringing back that old school expertise in customer service by providing an experience, whether it be at our pop-up events around town.
We love the pop-up events. I'm at those with her all the time and they are fire.
Or we have a storefront, the Babe Cave. We just want each and every babe to feel better and be ready to be seen after shopping with us. Shop us online at the Babe Cave or our pop-up events at local businesses around town. We can't wait to see you. And a little something special we have for you. Use promo code BOB20 for 20% off your purchase online.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be shopping today. Okay, so I do want to know a little bit about like your guys' relationship. Obviously, you're married and you now have, you're always promoting her business as far as the blog goes. Mm-hmm. How does that work with you guys? Like do you have any tips for anybody who's just like trying to manage a relationship? And it's ironic that this is coming from the only single person in the room, but
how do you survive me each day? How do you make this happen?
No idea. I think communication is the biggest thing. That sounds a little lame to say, but I think even communicating about how you're feeling, like when we were doing the champagne wall for Ladies Night a few weeks ago, I had this idea, I wanted to do it, but I am not very good at rejection. So I told Jerry, hey, I really want to do this, but you have to call Britton and ask. And
yeah, she's like, I need for you to ask about that. And if we're allowed to bring the champagne in, how do we operate that within Record Street, all the things. Cause she's not great with conflict, but that's where our balance lies. I'm not afraid of conflict. So any of the conflict resolution is on my side. And then I go back and I say, you got your way. Now create pretty things and let's do it.
So you guys obviously have a successful marriage. And now as business partners, like you balance each other so well, which is something that we were talking about today. I think that it is so nice to have I don't know if you guys are considered opposites, but it's just so nice to have someone who picks up in the areas that maybe you lack in. And it makes you so much more well-rounded and so much more confident, right? Versus being alone and doing that. Like, I know that with Britt and I, you know, we're so different in a lot of ways, and I'm just so grateful because she picks up in so many areas that I lack in.
Absolutely. And then same for her. And my favorite thing too is that, like, you know, working with somebody who understands you on that level makes it so that there, as much communication as you do have, because it's so consistent with the communication, that you, when you're not receiving that communication, you don't have that anxiety of like, oh God, I've messed up, I've done something. It's like, no, I know exactly where I stand with Britton at any given time. And I know that if she has an issue, she's going to come to me and tell me what the issue is. And then up until then, like, you know, I was gone all last week. So Britton was holding down the fort. And then we were also both closing new guests, and we didn't even know either of us were doing that. So then when I messaged her this morning, or when we talked this morning, she was like, so I closed X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, and I closed X, Y, and Z. And we were like, shoot.
You're like, great. That's awesome. Yeah, it is. It's really cool. The communication part, and how we were talking about how you were feeling. Do you guys like check in daily on just like how each other, like, I mean, obviously in your marriage you would do that, but in business, is that something that helps as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it's so nice to be able to have, you know, I call him my business partner when I'm joking about him or when I'm mad at him. And I just think it's so cool to be able to have a partner in business who balances me in so many ways and kind of keeps me on track. And we kind of innately pick up where the other left off.
100%. I think the introvert extrovert thing is like the most like balance that we see between the two, because she won't go somewhere like if she doesn't have to, and she's like, can I have my +1? Can I please have my +1? Just to have that nice shoulder to lean on at events and stuff like that.
I'm not a hermit, I promise.
No, she gets outside. It's just she loves to have me by her side, and I love to be there. So yeah.
That's so funny, because with your blog, you talk to your followers almost daily, and you tell them like what you're doing, when, and also like you do get into some like heavy things. Like if you've been having a hard day, you talk about that too, which is really cool. So you can do it on your story, but not necessarily like in person.
Well, yeah, there's no one there. I'm just talking to myself.
I fully relate. No, I fully relate
Sarah,
to that.
There's 13,000 people there.
Yeah.
You have like a concert hall full of people. So
She's like, great, now I'm never posting again.
And the blog is shut down.
Oh no.
Okay, this one is for both of you. Sarah, you can answer first. What is something you wish you were better at?
Conflict. Honestly, like I'm always in awe of watching Jerry navigate conflict and situations within our company, and you know, and just in life in general. And he bought me a sweatshirt a few years ago that says eating cookies and avoiding conflict. And it's very spot on. Like, I wish I was able to navigate that a little bit better. I feel like I am getting better at it as I get older. But I mean, Jerry just really excels at navigating conflict solutions.
It's harder than it seems because it's emotional. When it's your own business, you're so emotionally attached to it, and it's a reflection of who you are as a person. It's not like, oh, I'm your boss and I'm sitting in this position, and so that conflict is resolved simply because of the position I'm in. It's like, there's so many gray areas when, you know, you're the CEO and every single thing within the company. But I think that you're getting good at it. I can see it.
Yes. And I think the more that you do it, the better, like the more you'll find that what you create is so beautiful and so strong that like people are drawn to it. And I think the perfect example is the champagne wall. As nervous as you were about that, that was one of the most well-received executions I've seen in a long time. My mom could not handle her excitement from that. Yeah. Like she was unwell. You should have seen her like trying to push the button on the outside of the wall. You couldn't because you were behind the wall. And I'm like, Mom, you're going to knock the wall down.
We went through some champagne, huh?
Yeah,
People loved it.
We took down. But the conflict resolution side that no one else saw, we got a flat tire in the alley. She called the insurance company and she's handing champagne through the champagne wall while she's on the phone, like getting with the tow truck, all the things. So yeah, she's got conflict. She's good.
Yeah, she handles her business. What is something that you wish you were better at?
Mine is giving people grace. like my military background, I want you to be right the first time, 100% out the gate. And I need to allow people their opportunity to excel on their own and not live to my standards in their own business. Like, you're not me. I'm not you. I need to give you some grace, some time. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I need to work on 100%.
Well, it might be your main priority. It, in their business, it might be ranking 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's something that I have to remind myself as well, because I'm always like, why can't they just respond? Or, but then I think of my position and I have like a shit ton of DMs unread right now that I need to get back to. And I'll do that this afternoon. But it's like, I'm sorry for the wait. I know you think I should have answered yesterday, but yesterday was a completely different day, right?
Exactly.
So it's just, grace is something that...
Jerry, go ahead.
Even the conversation we had at the Craft Collective, it's like, I know you now on a personal level to where I don't want to interrupt your day when you're out with family, when you're on a hike, when you're at Pilates. Like, I kind of know your day now on that personal level, right? So I'm not going to text you at 10 a.m. Like, I'm going to wait because I know you. But to other business owners that I don't know, it's an 8 a.m. text, and I would love an 8:05 response. Like, that's just who I am. Like, everyone would love that back. And I need to provide that grace to other people. Like, you don't live for me and my business.
Right. But you're just trying to do the best job
100%
possible.
Yeah.
I think, well, Jerry and I have talked about this before too, where it's like, my motto is get your shit together.
100%.
Like, I say that to people all the time. Like, you need to just get your shit together. And I'm trying to like give myself grace. And then what I've realized is like, yeah, maybe that's fueled me in some ways, but it's also like hurt me in some ways, because like your thing too is, I think that if people don't respond to me in 5 seconds, I think that they hate me.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, they don't hate you. They just have a life that doesn't include you in this moment. And like, when they have the moment, they will get back to you. But to Jerry's perspective or point is like, I'm running a business. Like, I've scheduled this communication for this time. And my biggest struggle is when I'm communicating with people and I need a response from them. I'm like, okay, now this has disrupted my day. And I feel like it's a disrespect on me, even though it's like, I could have disrespected. It's like this whole thing. Communication is so hard. And
It really is.
And we are all built so different. And I think if you're like in military or you were an athlete, like the level of commitment you have to efficiency, I'd be really curious to see what your human design is. Like, I would put a lot of money on the fact that you're a projector.
Okay.
Probably. It all comes down to people and working with people and understanding people, because like we said, obviously you want that response, and I might give you that response when you're not in the work mode. And so it's a constant game of following up and touching base on things that you've already touched. I forget what billionaire said it. I feel like
Probably Jeff Bezos.
Knowing Bezos. Well, I mean, for the record, I don't love him as a human, but whatever.
I was about to say big Bezos fan.
No, like at the beginning of the podcast, she like would quote him every.
Well, because I was in a really big like adapting period, and Amazon started as an online bookstore, as we know, and now they run so like if they would have just stayed in their lane, we wouldn't be here. But he said something like, touch it once. So you see a text message pop up, touch it once and move on. Touch it once is great, and it's a good thing if you're in control, but when you're not in control, it just gives you anxiety.
Yes,
exactly.
100%.
Okay, so you guys both work a ton. What keeps you going? What's your why? Jerry, you go first.
It's our boys. 100%. Yeah,
for sure.
Our boys. Yeah.
That brings me joy. I gotta get me some of those. No,
Can I get a couple boys up in here?
And
no, I meant kids, not.
I meant kids too. What? I would have said men.
I just wanted to clarify.
I would have said men because that is like highly inappropriate. We're going to get canceled,
Britt brings all the boys to the yard.
My God.
It's our boys. I like cut and dry 100%. We wake up every day trying to figure out how to make their lives better. And, obviously my life, I come from humble beginnings. They will never live that life as long as I'm alive. So yeah.
I think that the boys are our legacies, and we hope that one day they'll want to take over the Abasto Co. And I just remember when I was a kid, my mom started doing mortgage loans, and she stayed home with us for for a long time. And I remember feeling like the luckiest kid in the world. It's like, oh, you have to go to after school care. My mommy's coming to get me. And I want to be that available to my kids while not sacrificing the things we want to do. And we just kind of found a way to make that happen.
Yeah, my biggest flex is the availability that my children have to me all the time, no matter what.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Like the freedom, financial, time, emotional freedom, right?
And that's the
what
stuff
we're
that-
all seeking.
Yeah, that's the stuff that's going to make their lives like so much better. Cause that was stuff that like my dad was an entrepreneur, but I didn't have any access to him. He was always like in Europe because he worked with mobile phones. So Motorola's back there.
Yeah, my dad was a district manager, so he was always out of state.
Yeah.
He was home maybe 4 days out of an entire month. And yeah, I didn't have that. But thankfully he did come to my games. But
All right, so you guys know that I live for Western wear, specifically my boots and my hats. So I want to talk a little bit about a brand new brand that is new to Reno, Nevada, and is from our beautiful babe over here. So Britton, tell us what Murdock's is.
Well, first of all, hats have been one of my truest loves since I was a kid. I swear I had a hat on in every single picture as a child. And then they quickly became a BLFT signature. We couldn't find the hat that was just perfect. And so we decided to design our own. Murdock's is a family brand that started in the great state of Nevada in the 1950s. My great-grandparents started Murdock's Western wear. Fast forward 60 years, the Murdock sisters recreate this homegrown brand by curating a hat line that embodies the spirit of Nevada. We were raised in this amazing state, and we watched a Nevadan's ability to put in a hard day's work on the ranch, followed by a hard night's play at the casinos. We pulled inspiration from the everyday beauty around us, the sunsets, Lake Tahoe, the mountains, and the forest.
I'm not going to lie, I have full body chills right now because you hit so many nails on the head just now. Like there's nothing that screams Reno, Nevada more than family and community and a little bit of Western. So the fact that you put all of our favorite things together and then you made it all about like bringing back the roots of your family brings me so much joy. Y'all need to check out Murdock's hats. Where do you find them?
Murdock'sHatsAndApparel.com.
We love it. Go shop, y'all.
My dad was a homicide detective.
Sweet Jesus.
gosh.
I win.
Yeah.
And I'm
Holy
traumatized.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Do
my
you
God.
watch like Dateline and
Oh my
Forensic
God.
Fight? You love
I'm
it?
obsessed.
Yeah, same.
My cousin and I will literally, we call it like murder night. She'll come over, we'll watch our murders, and
my
I love
gosh.
it. I love true crime.
Do you
And
think
I'm
of your
upstairs
dad? You're like,
editing.
he used to do that.
Yes. And he would like tell me stories from when he was working and stuff. But I think he really did not want me going into law enforcement. Like he really, really didn't want me to. So I would get all excited and want to talk to him about a case. And he would be like, oh God, here we go.
He's like, I don't want to rehash it. I just lived it.
That's awful.
And yeah, you're upstairs editing
yeah.
until the wee hours of the morning.
no, they're downstairs vegging out, chilling, enjoying. I'm upstairs editing and crying.
But for real, your turnaround time is,
Insane.
yeah, it is so incredible.
It's a goal of mine to try to get everything out within 72 hours. I know that's not always happening, but I hate the, hey, just checking in. Like I hate that more than anything else in life is the just checking in thing. I'd rather you have it, love it, blast
done
it out
with
to
it.
the world.
Well, if your turnover is that fast, and it only opens up more space for like to create more.
100%.
And to be clear, I ugly cried in my car for 30 minutes yesterday. So you are not, that was the most relatable thing anybody's ever said on this podcast.
We literally will tell each other for like, I think I need to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need my space. I need a little, I'm an emotional dude. That if that's not coming across, that's, yeah,
I love that.
I'm there.
Appreciates that about you.
I live in my emotions. So
Same. It's hard. It's exhausting, you know? It's like a heavy burden sometimes, but I also feel like it's a blessing because you truly feel life more than other people and you feel the lows, which make the highs that much better,
And you can be more empathetic, I think, which is really important
which is
and undervalued.
a heavy burden to carry.
Also
but
that.
people dump on you all the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's great.
I'm going to go cry for you now.
You're like capacity maxed. Okay, Sarah, I forgot I didn't ask you this one question about your blog. You have an amazing amount of followers, and obviously that's been a lot of work, but to someone who's trying to gain followers, what advice do you give?
I think consistency is a big one. Consistency, relatability, and enjoying what you do. If you're pumping out content and you hate it, your audience is going to recognize that. I've been really lucky that so many of my friends and family have been so supportive of my content that they'll share it. And that's really helped me get the ball rolling with growing the account. But yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into social media. And I think especially if you're starting a business, social media marketing is it. And a lot of older businesses have a hard time grasping that. So I guess my advice would be social media isn't going anywhere. Embrace it.
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job growing it. I think that you've outgrown your family sharing your post by now. That's really nice of you to give them credit. You're way past that point, but you have obviously strategically delivered content that people enjoy and that people look forward to.
Oh, thank you so much.
And if I can add one thing, you being authentic is it. Authenticity cannot be duplicated at all. Like this morning, like just being in the car and being funny on a whim is what people love to see, especially from her. Not so much me, but yeah.
No, they want to know.
No, I love your walks. I love your afternoon stroll convos. Like,
those are my
I love
clarity
those.
walks. I need those.
Yeah.
Need those.
I like them too.
I love those talks that you do. And it's true. And then we were just talking about before this, like, I'm so afraid to do those for myself. And we need to do them more for Britt on Blast, but I'm so afraid to do that. But that's the shit that people respond to. That's the stuff that they love. Like, that's why I love you too. That's how I got to know you. That's probably half the reason you got to know Britton better, to know like her schedule and this podcast I know is a big reason why people know our schedules.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, we want to get into some really fun who's more likely to, but before we do that, I really want you to tell our listeners, what can we expect from the Abasto Co? Like, what's your future? What are your main goals? I know you said like you guys want to be like a media conglomerate.
Definitely a media house. I'm gonna let you take over the first part and then I'll end it. But
well, we have in recent weeks, we've really been talking about opening up our own studio. We really want to have our own physical space and be able to do more studio work for our clients. So I'm kind of seeing like a year, 18 months. What do you think?
Yeah, a year, 18 months. We're already looking at the physical spaces. It's just the rates are insane right now.
It's so hard. Yeah. And like part of business mobility is having a low overhead. And so it's always that risk. But I think that a studio for you guys would be incredible and also allow you to have that separation of work and life, you know?
Yeah. And have somewhere to keep all of our equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The garage is we're exploding out of that thing. And I would say just in an ever growing business, our videography side is what we started at the start of this year. And it's just going to continue to grow. We started off graphic design and photography. Now we're moving into the photography side. It's just that equipment is not cheap. So my biggest thing, especially growing this business out of fear originally, is that financial commitment that comes with it. I refuse to put my children and my wife in that position. So we're very smart financially moving. So
yeah, it's like scaling, growing. You have to grow, but it's like scaling appropriately is something that I find one of the biggest challenges in my business is plural. You like say that your garage is exploding. We need a warehouse stat because we have Murdock's hats and we have so many more coming. I'm just like, well,
you guys, I'm in like a studio. So like I live in a townhome and Haven and Flux is literally my living room. Like it's getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know how there is no escape for me from my business. Like I literally stare at it. It's everywhere. There's wax all over me, all over my concrete floors. Like,
You do a great job of keeping your house very clean.
that's
but
my OCD. Do you guys ever like do product photography? I'm asking for a friend.
like by products like candles.
Like, I just am wondering if like you would ever do candle
Yes, we do
Okay.
product photography, and yes, for your friend, we can get her on the books.
Okay, fantastic.
Tell your friend she's
Yeah,
she's
tell
got
her friend.
got a good gig.
And videography from like a content perspective is something that like I'm always needing, and I'm always taking my own. And again, going back to this, like putting your face on your Instagram is the most powerful thing I've done for my business yet. It's the scariest thing, and I hate doing it. But like every time I do it, I see not only like a monetary return, I also see an engagement return. So like having somebody come in and be able to do like professional stuff makes sense that you're going in that direction.
Yeah, it's needed. It's much needed, especially, I mean, I don't know what you guys have seen on Instagram with your guys' insights, but the visual side of it is going towards video, and we need it. The reels that we continue to do, you have to at least have the reel for whatever you're doing. Whenever we go out on photo shoots, especially the one that we just did for Big Slow Fashion Truck, it's like that one that we did with Bridget has hit numbers that we didn't even knew existed for our account. It's insane. So
Well, that was an insane reel.
Yeah.
You guys are the best team.
Yeah, you guys, the content, I mean, I'm
It's just
grateful to know you
nonstop.
guys.
Yeah.
You guys are, I'm really excited to see where you guys go.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
Okay, so back to relationship things. This is a little bit lighter, but we made up a little game. Who's more likely?
okay.
Going down.
Do we want them to answer at the same time? Like, should I count them down? Or do you want to let Sarah answer first and then Jerry answer second so we can hear their answer?
I feel like they can go at the same time.
Okay.
We'll do same time.
Okay.
We'll do same time.
So I'm actually going to do 2. So it's like quicker. So you'll get 2 seconds. So hit on 2. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So who's actually just go at the same time? Who's more likely to do the dishes?
Jerry.
Oh, okay.
I did not see that coming.
Okay. Who's more likely to drive on a road trip?
Jerry.
Me.
Who's more likely to give in and say sorry first?
Jerry.
Me.
Sarah, what do you do in this? Who's more likely to strike up a conversation with a stranger? Jerry.
Me. Yeah. I'm the extrovert. Like
Oh my God, this one too. Who's more likely to know the lyrics to songs?
Jerry.
it would be me. Yeah.
But you used to be a rapper.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's only like 2 genres of music that I wouldn't know all the lyrics to.
Remember that Bruno Mars song the other day?
Oh yeah.
I thought the lyrics were
Sushi
sushi
and
and
diamonds.
diamonds. All right. I didn't know it was strawberry champagne on ice.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it wrong. But guys, that is
Sushi and
what
diamonds
I
though.
like.
Yeah, she likes sushi and diamonds. She'll change the lyrics and like convince you that that's what it is. There's like 3 J. Cole songs that we listen to all the time, and she's changed like 90% of the lyrics to be kid friendly, most for Grayson.
She wants to be able to relate.
Yeah.
You know, sushi and diamonds. Who
Yeah.
doesn't love that?
Yeah.
Strawberry champagne sounds a little overwhelming. I'd rather have sushi. And
You're like, I would just rather keep it dry, champagne, you know, like, but diamonds and sushi.
yeah.
Take me out and call me pretty. That's all we need.
I'm not asking for much.
Oh my God, that
Oh,
is
this is
the
hilarious.
best thing I've ever heard.
Who's more likely to panic when you're late?
Jerry.
It's me. It's me.
We had to leave the house so early today. And then when I asked for Starbucks, it was like, oh my God, sir, I think the museum was going to be open before.
We got here 5 minutes before we were supposed to be here. It's-
Jerry.
Which,
I
to
feel
be
like I
clear, wasn't you guys got here at 9:45 because I was in the parking lot
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
I was
right.
thinking
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, Jerry's coming today, so I better get my ass there on time.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and it didn't work out.
But like 10 minutes before your time is you're on
It's on
time.
time.
Like that's on time in my mind. For her, it's like 9:59 and 3/4 seconds.
got
Like
you,
we're in
Sarah.
here, you know?
Thank you.
Like,
I'd rather be late than ugly.
I'd rather, yeah, I was gonna say you just gotta like get that makeup just right, you know.
Oh my God.
you're looking good. You're looking good today.
Yeah, you did
Just
good.
put that.
Were you talking to both of us? Thank you so much. Okay, who's more likely to stay up all night watching Netflix?
Oh,
Sarah.
me. I mean,
Sarah,
that would be
100%.
me.
Nice.
Murders.
Yeah, murders.
Murders.
Why she's up. So we can relate. We were on we were doing this podcast and I was talking to somebody else. I was like, I love to read this. Like I'm reading this suspenseful book right before bed. And Britton and the guests were like, I don't remember who it was. They were like, what? Are you okay? Like, that's why you don't sleep. What are you doing? And I'm like, I can't stop.
Totally.
Totally. They're like describing how the murderer cut up a woman's body, and we're like,
Puts me right-
decompression.
Yeah. Well, I take it a step further. I'll watch like a whole true crime documentary and then I'm like, I got to know more. So I'm in there like looking for the autopsy report on the internet. And like,
Oh, she deep dives. It's crazy.
We're about to get you a true crime podcast.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
what this was. So
You should be the next Ashley Flowers, crime junkie.
oh my
Crime
gosh.
junkie. That is such a good, that's my like candle pouring.
Yeah.
I like to really do the toxicity into the candles.
Just all the best energy for you guys. Remember, have abundance. Stay calm.
Abundance of murder.
Oh. Okay, who's more likely to forget an anniversary?
I mean, we have 12 calendars, so
Yeah, we're not forgetting. I feel like this one, there's not even a tie in this situation. We're not forgetting anniversaries.
and we go to Red Hawk. We got married at Red Hawk, so we go to dinner there every year for our anniversary, and it's like right down the street from our house. How could you forget that? They have the best steak.
You guys live in a sick little neighborhood. If I wasn't so afraid to be so far from the mountains during snow season, I would 1000% go move out there.
I love it out there. It's peaceful for the most part. And I mean, having Golden Eagle Park right there to take Grayson to is phenomenal. So yeah.
And they go buck for Christmas. That was like one of the reasons we went with that
Oh
neighborhood.
yeah, they put the lights up on the little windmills and all that stuff and decorate all the trees. Like she's from Gardnerville, so she needs that down home experience, and we get that every time we drive into the neighborhood. So
Awesome.
That's so sick. God, get me out of Midtown.
shouts to Spanish Springs. Love you guys.
Who's more likely to cry during a sappy movie?
Jerry.
Me.
He's emo.
Jerry cried at our wedding and I laughed at him.
She wanted to frame this because I have the ugliest like cry face.
Oh my
And
gosh. There's a photo of him while I'm coming down the aisle and he looks like, well, I guess for our viewers at home, he has this like scrunched up, like Kim Kardashian cry face. Like,
oh, it's ugly. Oh, it's bad.
it looks like he's regretting every decision he's ever
But in that moment, I'm like, damn, she's beautiful. It's me. But it looks the total opposite. It's like, ew, what do you pick that one?
I'll never forget the first time. I was like, how'd you guys meet? And you were like, I saw her at a show and I was like, damn, I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
Aw.
100%.
It was so cute.
The dress was killer.
Oh, honey. You're
I
so
can't
sweet.
deal. I'm having a moment right
cute
now.
overload.
All I want for Christmas is somebody to love me like Jerry loves Sarah.
To someone to like look at you and be like, damn, I'm in trouble. There's my life.
Every day.
There goes my life.
Even like listeners are missing it, but he'll like wink at her across, like he's been winking at her. It's like a whole thing.
I love my wife. It's
You know,
It's a
I
thing.
love him, but I actually really like him too.
yeah, I like you. I like you a lot.
Like he's my best friend.
Okay, now you're making me sick. Who's more likely to use all the hot water
Sarah.
when showering?
Literally this morning. Now let's fight.
Okay.
Yeah, we get to it.
You want to do this? He will start the shower though and then go answer emails. And then it's like, well, there's no hot water.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why.
Exposed.
Also, we're like, we need water around these parts.
Yeah.
High desert.
Yeah,
No.
stop being that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to get canceled. It's a drought.
You know what I'm realizing is Jerry and I have a lot in common. Because I do the exact same thing.
You're like, I'm just going to do one quick thing.
Yeah.
15 minutes later.
I'm like, shit, there's no hot water.
And then the texts just start going crazy and
Yeah.
and
Then my
no
mom
hot
calls.
water. Yeah.
Right. And you're trying to touch it once, right? So you're trying to get shit done.
It's going great.
And then Grayson waddles in and he wants to jump in the shower and it's like, okay, dude, we're in here.
That dude loves the shower.
He loves a good shower.
So cute. Okay. So we ask everyone this question at the end of our show. Jerry, you can go first, and then Sarah, you can wrap up. If you could give one piece of advice starting out in their business, what would it be?
You already touched on this, but communication is something you need around the clock all the time. If you are getting involved in business, you have to know how to communicate with your clients. You have to understand them. Not every single client is going to be the same, and navigate that accordingly. That's my advice.
I just had a really good answer and it just kind of like went away. But what I was going with was try to remember that we are not living to work. that we, our jobs are fun. Like we're really lucky that the events and everything that we get to do are really fun. But remembering when it's time to turn it off, when it's time to have family dinner, when it's time to do a cell stack, and knowing that, yes, the work is important, but your family and your mental health are the most important.
Yes, definitely.
That is that is the best answer.
I love both of those answers. Tell our listeners where they can find you, Sarah. We didn't really touch on your real estate business, but that crushes for you. And so if, people are looking,
She's a boss.
If you are looking to buy or sell residential real estate in the Northern Nevada area, I am with Realty Corner in Sparks, under the brokerage with Jason Evanchek, who is one of my favorite people in the world. You can always email me at Sarah, SARAH, at realtycorner.com. I'm also online at Sarah Abasto. That's Sarah with an H, the correct way to spell
Correct
it.
way.
Girl, I feel that in my soul.
Is that your Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to follow her blog.
My blog is saraabasto.com.
Awesome. And then your guys' company.
The company is at
Theabasto.co.
Yeah.
Nice.
And y'all see us tag them all the time.
Yeah.
They're in like half of our reels because Jerry did our very first photo shoot for us, which is our
actually
like logo.
a poster up, right? Do you see your work over
Yeah,
there?
I've seen it. It looks so good.
He was
So
pretty proud of that when he walked in.
I love that.
That's my favorite photo of us ever.
I love it. He recreated the logo that you created.
It brings me joy.
Yeah. Same. Well, you guys were such a treat. Thank you so much for carving out some time of your very valuable time.
We are always
so
available to the two of you. Always.
We
Always.
love you
always.
guys.
Same to you guys. Joy of my life. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like we learned so much. I haven't laughed that hard in like
For the record, I meant boys, not men. When I was like,
I'm glad. I like misread that entirely, and I was like, I'm talking about children. I would like to have
boys to
children.
men, boys to men.
Oh my God. All right. Well, on that note, y'all, you know where to find us. Follow along on Britt on Blast, and find us at BLFT Reno, Murdock Hats and Apparel, and Haven and Flux on Instagram. If you like the show, subscribe and review Britt on Blast wherever you're listening. Thank y'all so much for being here. We love you lots.
Cheers, y'all.